Hello everyone, Miss Meek here, and today we are going to be talking about algebraic expressions. So algebraic expressions, what is that? What is an algebraic expression? Well, an algebraic expression contains at least one variable and one operation. So for example, 2x. That is an algebraic expression. This right here represents 2 times x. You have a variable in there, you have an operation in there. Okay, another example would be 35 plus a. That is an algebraic expression. You have an operation and you have a variable. Here's your operation and here is your variable. Okay, one important distinction between an expression and an equation is notice we do not have any equal signs here. We're not saying that this equals something or anything. No equal signs in expressions. So make sure that you are not including any equal signs today. That is not an expression. An expression actually equals multiple things depending on what we're plugging in. Speaking of plugging in, the focus of today's lesson is going to be evaluating expressions. So they're going to give us expressions with variables, and they're going to tell us what those variables equal, and they want us to plug those numbers in and see what value we get from the expression. Let's go ahead and jump into the first one. It says evaluate the expression if x equals 4, y equals 2, and z equals 10. So in my first problem here, I have x plus y plus 5. Well, they told me that x equals 4. So instead of writing x here, I'm going to write a 4. They told me that y equals 2. So plus 2. And then the last part is just plus 5. That was part of the equation. So again, I took this x out and put a 4. And I took this y out and put a 2. And now I'm going to solve. 4 plus 2 plus 5 equals, this expression is going to equal with these values, they're going to equal 6 plus 5, which is 11. So our final answer, let me write that in a different color so we don't get all confused. Our final answer here is 11. So when we evaluate this expression, we get that this is going to equal 11. Let's do another one. On number 2, I have 2x minus y. Now remember that this right here is multiplication. That is 2 times x. Okay? So when I go to replace these numbers, let's plug in the values. We have 2 times x, which is 4, minus y, which is 2. So again, I'm replacing this x with a 4. Again, it's multiplying. And I'm replacing this y with a 2. And now we're going to solve. Remember that order of operations tells me that I have to solve my multiplication first. So that's going to be 8 minus 2, which equals 6. So my final answer for this expression using these values is 6. Our last one here is xy plus z. Again, just as a reminder, this xy is x times y. X times y. So let's plug all these numbers in. X is a 4 times y is a 2 plus z. This is a new one we haven't used yet. We'll use green for z. Z is 10. So again, order of operations says that I have to multiply first. So that's going to be 8 plus 10. And 8 plus 10 is 18. So the value of that expression is going to be 18 for these numbers. Okay, so again, we're plugging those numbers in and we are substituting them in. Okay, it's called substitution in a way. We are substituting those numbers in. Again, this is multiplication. And then we're solving to find what is the answer for this expression using those numbers. All right, let's try a little bit harder. Here's another one. It says that A is 3, B is a third, and C is 9. And yes, you can have negatives, you can have positives, you can have decimals, you can have fractions, you can have it all in these expressions. So let's go ahead and take a look at number 1. They said A is 3. Again, this A, B right here is going to be A times B. When we see two things smushed together like that, they're stuck together with multiplication glue. So that's A. We'll use blue for A. A is 3 times B, which is 1/3. Okay, don't freak out. We know how to do that. Okay, don't lose confidence. And then it says plus C, and we'll use green for C. C is 9. So again, all I'm doing is I'm substituting in these numbers that they gave me for these letters to find the value for this problem. So that's what I just did. All right, now multiplying fractions again, order of operations tells me I have to multiply before I add. So I am going to multiply those two numbers together. Remember, when we multiply fractions, we put whole numbers over 1, and then you just multiply straight across. So that's going to be 3 times 1, which is 3, and 1 times 3, which is 3. Now this can simplify. 3 over 3 simplifies down to 1. So this is actually going to equal 1, and I still have to add that 9, and 1 plus 9 is 10. So my final answer there is 10. On number 2 here, we have this fraction written. Remember that fractions are another way to represent dividing. So that is just going to be a fancy division problem there. So again, let's plug in our numbers. We have, let's see, we have 9 for C, so 9 over A. A is 3, so a 3 on the bottom here, and then plus 5. So again, order of operations tells me that I have to divide before I can add anything. So 9 divided by 3 there is going to be 3, and then I still have to add that 5, and so my final answer is 8. All right, this was a quick overview on how to evaluate expressions. Evaluate means to plug the numbers in that they gave you for your variables and solve the expression with those values to get an answer for those values. Those values can change. So this is not the only answer for this expression. They can change when the values change. All right, I hope that this helped clear up any confusion. I'll talk to you later. Bye.